Audio test. Hello, how are you going? You alright?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm loving life. Loving life.
Good.
Can you see my can that I'm about to crack?
Nice, nice. I have my iced coffee from Gen Con mug, so I feel like
Oh.
that's appropriate for the time of the morning.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, we're literally on different sides of the world. So it's morning for you, evening for me, and I've just got back from going to Kingdom Gaming, which you can see this little flyer here. As part of my sort of visit the local game store series, I just picked up some
Oh yeah,
swag.
cool, cool.
So I'm going to be cracking
I, li-
those
I
in a
like
bit.
the size of the Flesh and Blood logo on that flyer. That's
Oh yeah,
nice, nice front and center, which is great.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, their business literally is literally all flesh and blood. That's where they make all their money and all their events and stuff. So yeah, they're very much front and center for flesh and blood, which is good.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's amazing 2 years in how many stores this has become their number one money maker game because I mean part of it is part of it
Hello.
is there's a lot of disenfranchised players from other games, a lot of big companies that haven't probably looked after their player base as much as they could have.
No, exactly, and I mean,
But
I joined the community as well, like literally only within the last 6 months, and the people that have been involved with it have just been so welcoming. It's just been
yeah,
brilliant to be a part of. I mean, I don't know if you maybe know my history, but I came from EDH, being Magic the Gathering's
right, yeah,
casual format.
yeah,
And that got me into Flesh and Blood because of the fact that in EDH you choose a hero and you build your deck around that hero, whereas with this it's
yeah.
very class driven. So pulled me
Yeah,
right in.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, this game can be very competitive,
Yeah,
like very competitive, but there's also um, a big thing about finding the hero that resonates with you, finding the class that resonates with you, and if you are more of a casual player, like I myself, I come from a background of I used to run a game store
nice.
10, 15 years ago. Um, and so, always as a game store owner, I would play everything except Magic because there was enough Magic players that
Yeah,
got covered. So I played every other game just so if someone walked into my store with with a spoils deck, with a versus deck, with a UPS, a UFS deck, and they were like, "Oh, there's no one here to play." I'm like, "Ah, I've got a deck behind the counter.
nice.
I can
Yeah.
play." And so I've always been more about casual game, thematic.
Hmm.
I'm a big wrestling fan. If you've ever seen anything that I do,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of wrestling, wrestling stuff in there. So that's why I sort of gravitated towards Brute in this game. It's really got that big wrestler style vibe to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
no,
surprised it didn't go with Guardian because of choke slam.
yeah,
Choke
yeah,
slam with the Guardian.
mandible claws and Brute though. That's
Yeah, that's true.
that was
Yeah.
that was a good one, and we I love James. I've known James for 17 years now. I've worked with him throughout my whole time in the industry, and he is also an old school WWE fan. So that's where a lot of
Nice.
these things like chokeslam, mandible claws, they aren't just coincidence. They are
They are well placed.
little Easter eggs of our fandom in there.
Yeah, 100%. And you have to slip those things in, don't you? Because it gives you a bit of
Oh,
satisfaction. Like,
absolutely,
yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
Lovely.
Excellent. So
Wow.
what form are we doing today? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I know we're playing Blitz, but are we just having a chat? We're having some games. What's the?
Yeah. So this is going to be part of my Life's a Pitch gameplay series, which I've called it.
Yep.
But with yourself, I'm just going to be, all of this intro will just be us chatting and stuff. So it's very much casual with yourself.
Yeah, cool.
So, but yeah, I mean, the deck that I had was an Azalea CC
Oh
build,
no.
but I've had to trim it down because I don't have a Blitz deck on me. So I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. It's all
Excellent.
all for good fun.
Well, to be fair, I'm running a deck that isn't my own.
All right.
I'll give credit to him when we're on. But I don't know if you've followed Mansant. He is the
Yeah.
player that made top 32 at US Nats. He just recently dropped his Leviah Blitz deck, and so I'm always keen to play a bit more brute. So I'm trying it out here. So
Good stuff.
no,
Yeah, I mean, Leviah was...
actually match up Azalea versus Leviah, actually.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And I think Leviah's come into the limelight a bit more now, hasn't she? With all the new heroes that have come out, I think that's quite interesting because she was definitely the underdog of the Monarch ones. I think
I think people were just scared of playing her because she does lose to herself sometimes if you don't play her right.
Yeah, that's it.
You can just lose to your own blood debt, which is painful.
No, that's right. Yeah, I actually did that. I actually played a Leviah deck. I didn't know what I was doing with her really, and I ended up dying to blood debt, which is the thematic way to die, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. The nice thing about that is you never lose. You never get beaten. You lose the game, but you never get beaten.
Yeah. Like you go out on your own terms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've only ever played Dante Del Fico once online, and I still haven't lost to him. I didn't win the game, but I lost to blood debt.
There you go.
So technically, he hasn't beat me yet.
Yeah, that's fine then.
It's one of those things where I like, if I go back on my record, I was like, who's had the most wins against me? Me.
Me. Yeah. Nice. Love it. Cool. Right. Yeah. So I guess I'll switch the cameras around then.
Cool. I'm slightly less technical. I have one camera that just goes up and down.
That's fine. Yeah. Which one is it that I need to change to? Lighting is not the best due to this hotel room, but there we go. Okay.
Yeah. The joy. I mean, the fact that you've got a desk that fits everything on is a bonus. Some hotel rooms you get that ridiculous,
Yeah.
Then we're like, this is just to put the phone on, not actually to be used as a desk.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. You this goes to show how inexperienced I am in competitive play or what have you. You start with your equipment face down, whereas I've just revealed all the.
Yes.
I've
you've just revealed the information. That being said, in this matchup, it's pretty standard.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it is. This is mainly just because it's not so much necessarily with these particular heroes, but like especially if you're playing like the new stuff like Ice Lexi, or Lexi or Briar and stuff, and you don't want to give away whether you're on ice or lightning or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
But like technically the rules state you reveal your hero, you roll the dice to see who starts, then you put out your equipment. Odds or evens to see who goes first.
I'll go odds because I am a bit of an oddball.
All right, fair enough. It is evens. I'm going to go counterintuitive to every other brute. I normally go first, but with Leviah, I'm going to go second because I want to, hopefully maybe get some cards into the graveyard on the first turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty.
Cool. Good luck, and
Good luck.
thanks for giving you more than up to play some games with me.
Hey, I will play games whenever anyone wants me to.
Oh, lovely. That's good to know.
That's what I enjoy doing. So it's not a hassle at all to, because I run a coffee van Monday to Friday. So I'm normally up at this time anyway. Or
I see.
For a couple of hours anyway at this time.
So it's all part of your routine already. Then you don't have to get up, especially your body clock's already set.
Exactly.
Oh, that's all right then. Lovely. Right, I'm going to use the same strategy as you. I'm going to use these dice so it's nice and visible.
Yeah, just a little bit easier. I have to say, dude, I love your playmat. That is very cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I do love it. I do love the art that I commissioned for it. I mean, I'm very much. Well, we're just chatting at this point. My favorite character is Viserai, and I just love, like, Arcane Rising, for instance. I got an Arcane Rising box today, just because I just love that's the set that I really gravitated towards when I got into the game.
Nice.
And I got in like before, just before Monarch started, so I didn't really.
Right.
My head wasn't registering, banishing cards from Soul and all this sort of thing. So I went to Arcane Rising because of the theme, like the Azalea in the dirty pits, and then Viserai in the Demonastery and stuff. So,
No, nice.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Arcane Rising was. I mean, I've been in the game since the get go. Obviously, Wraith does hold a special spot for me, but I really enjoyed Arcane Rising as a set. Unfortunately, it was a bit hit with the whole pandemic thing that we never really got our full season of doing like sealed and stuff with it because of lockdown and stuff, which is a shame because it's a really good sealed set. It really is.
Yeah, I would have loved to play sealed with it, 100%. What did we say? It was me going first, wasn't it?
You were going first, yeah.
All right then. So let's draw some cards and see what happens. Okay.
And for the folks at home, I'll just give you a quick rundown. Oh, actually, I put out the wrong piece of equipment. Where is my? Maybe I'm gonna have to run with this. Sorry, let me just.
Just go with whatever you like. It's fine.
Actually, I need to have a quick look through my deck because I may have shuffled my piece of equipment because normally, so this deck actually runs Hope Merchant's Hood as its.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, while you're searching for it, if you want to, for anyone who doesn't know who you are or exactly that, because go ahead.
As well, my name's Ian. I run Ritetime Gaming. I also am the co-host of a sporadic podcast called Radio Reflex, which I do with Alan Hale, He is the OP manager, one of the OP managers for Legend Story Studios. We started that podcast back in 2019 when I was working for the company as well. As I said, I used to work for LSS as the community manager. Unfortunately, I was brought on just before the first pandemic outbreak in a role that was 100% about people being able to play in person, and so when lockdown across the world happened, unfortunately, the classic last in, first out thing happened, and I got made redundant. But all still very good terms with the company and stuff like that. I do pop in, and I have been known to do commentary for LSS at the callings here in Auckland, as well as on some of their devs stream stuff on the Flesh and Blood channel. But yeah, and I've been a player since day one. I've known James and some of the other creators and dev team for over 15 years. Used to run a game store here in New Zealand, which is where I sort of met James in that. While he was a TO for other games, and just sort of been. I've been a little bit of a lax card player. Really, Flesh and Blood sort of got me back into trading card games. I had sort of, my other life had sort of taken over, and I was still playing board games here and there, but I hadn't really played a TCG for probably nearly 10 years before starting back in Fab.
So what happens, though, isn't it? So what happens, you have these lapses, especially with trading card games. You have a little bit of a lapse, and that's what was happening with me as well. Like I've come from a Magic the Gathering background, and there was just so much burnout from it that I decided to give this game a go after watching Professor's video on how to play.
Nice.
And it's good to see that you're still involved with the community and appearing on content creators videos like Kel and. And that was one of my jobs when I was with the company was as a community manager, was to get in the early days to fish out
and send out product and stuff to creators who were doing other games. And so Kel over at Red Zone Rogue and Stephen at DM Amada, also Stephen and Zach over at Team Covenant. They're all people that I brought on to the game while I was with the company, and I'm really glad to see all of them still being involved and being really passionate. And
they're all great, aren't they?
It's really nice seeing when good things happen to good people. Like DM Amada is doing really well. Seeing him on commentary at the Queens and the Nationals, along with Cal at Red Zone Road, who's just got to 10k plus subscribers on Red Zone Road.
Awesome.
Seeing the likes of Zach over at Team Covenant win a Pro Quest, which was great. Like I've been watching him and Steven play Sealed for 18 months every Tuesday, and just seeing it pay off, and seeing how happy he is with his gold foil spell cap. And while I totally understand the value of them, so people are sort of selling them when they're winning it. It's really nice seeing Steven's attitude to the gold cold foil. Is like, oh no, I am keeping this, I am playing this, and it's going to remind my opponents that I was good,
that I am the champion.
On that day I was the best, so I was like, that's exactly what I love to see. So no, it's great.
No, that's
great.
Good.
And seeing people like yourself being able to sit across the oceans.
Multiple oceans there.
Exactly. And it's always good to stick it to the motherland. Being a Commonwealth country, little brother.
That's it.
Here in New Zealand.
Exactly. Right. I'd love to go there at some point, but let's actually play now, shall we?
Not a problem.
Cool. I'm going first, right?
Yes, you're going first. So I've got the Hope Merchants Hood set up, the Carrion Husk, Gamblers Clubs, of course, and Scabs Competitors.
Cool. I've got Red Liner, Talismanic Lens for a bit of opt, Heart and Cross Strap for a nice big turn, Bullseye Bracers to put something into the arsenal, and a Snapdragon, which basically gives anything go again in this sort of deck, which is nice.
Nice.
Lovely. So we will play a... first of all, a red Nimblism.
Nice.
Then we'll play a red Take Aim. Then we'll reload a card into the arsenal with that.
Nice.
And then we will play this card, Ridge Rider Shot, pitching and knock the Death Whistle to pay for it. So this is a 10 attack coming in.
I see what you're doing. All right.
Yeah.
That's a big one. So what I will do is I'm gonna block 6 with a Ghostly Visit and a Compulsions from the Bellows of Hell.
Yeah.
And then I will choose to move on to the reaction phase.
Yep.
Any reactions from you? No, you've used
Nope.
all your cards. So I will use a Fateful Scene and I will leave that because it's spicy on top. So I am blocking 10 there.
Lovely. Yep.
Alrighty.
So fully blocked, and then 2 resources fizzle away, and then I will draw 4, and then it's up to you.
Alrighty. So I am running Leviathan today, and I want to give credit to Mansant, who this is the Leviathan that he just recently posted.
Nice.
I'm really interested to see how it plays. I've been following him for a bit because obviously I'm a brute player myself, so it's always nice to see the brute stuff doing well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
This is an awkward turn though. So what I might do? You're not a brute unless you're doing something random. So we're gonna roll Scabskins. Ooh.
Oh.
So that's 3 actions. That is very interesting. let's start by a barrage and beatdown and intimidate one card out of your hand.
Okay.
So we'll just go left to right. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Reroll on a 5. Reroll on a 5. 4. So the card on your right.
Cool. Yeah. Yep. So it's banished. End of turn.
Banished. You'll get that. You'll get that back. I'll then pitch a Soul Harvest for 3, using 2 of it to come at you with one of my claws. So this is going to be, it's either going to be 5 if you block with 2 non-equipments, or 5 if you block with 2 non-equipments, or 3 if you block with 2. Sorry, let me say that in a better way.
Yeah.
Don't block with 2 non-equipments, it gets +2 off the barrage. So it'll be 5 or 3, your choices.
So I will choose not to block with cards from hand.
Okay. Okay, I've got no reactions.
Okay, so I will play a take cover for nothing.
Nice. Yep. Reload.
I will reload this, and then I'll take 1 from that, because this is a 4 defense.
That's solid. That's a solid choice. Got 1 floating. Then I'm just gonna pitch a red barrage and beat down, and just come at you for another 3 with the other claw. Nothing floating.
I will take that 3, so I'm on 16.
Alrighty. I am then gonna ask my card and pass to you.
Cool. So the banished or the scary intimidated card comes back to hand.
Yeah, comes back. Yep.
And then it's my go. Right. So I'm going to play a knock the death whistle.
Alrighty.
I'm going to choose to put a. I'm going to put red in the ledger on top.
Excellent. Nice.
And then activate Azalea to put this into the arsenal, and then this will have dominate till end of turn.
Yep.
And then I will.
One of my favourite artwork in the game is Red in the Ledger.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
and
she's just
a little Easter egg. If you ever see the playmat for Red in the Ledger that they did, there's actually a little hidden Easter egg. The dude that's getting strangled, and not in the card, but on the playmat, has a tattoo that says "loser" across his neck.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
well, Azalea.
Anyone,
Yeah.
Anyone who's out there that has that Azalea playmat, you might want to go have another look at it.
Get your magnifying glass out.
Oh,
it's on there.
It's pretty easy to spot on the playmat. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. As I said,
Nice.
I don't believe it's on the card. It's just something added for the playmat.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is something that I love that that the company does. That they are very big on Easter eggs and hiding things in plain sight. So.
Yeah. I mean, on a separate non-gameplay note, I actually there was some stuff doing some rounds on Twitter the other day, and there was what was it? I think is it in so one of the talisman of dowsing or something like that has like a hidden message on the artwork. Is it talisman? It might be talisman of dowsing, and then there's also what was the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, like you say, there's loads of hidden messages in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the what was it? Nourishing emptiness. So if you look in the background,
it's the story of the demise of the Wraith heroes.
That's right. Yeah. So I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Love the attention to detail. Anyway, right. So Red and Ledger's gone in there. That's got dominate. Because I'm just going to crack the cross strap to make my next attack action cost 2 less. This is going to be for free. And then I'm going to attack with it for 5.
And
Dominate.
You've got 1 card in hand?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can't raise it. That's good. If I dominate, I would only get 1 action if I let it
Yeah.
hit. You know what? Being that this is a blitz game, this may be crazy, but I am going to put the carrion husk in front of that.
Okay.
So that is blocking for 6.
Okay, so as an attack reaction, I'll crack my scalers
Yes. Yep.
to give this go again.
Yep, that's fair.
Any reactions from you? That's just going to go, isn't it?
No reactions from me, yep.
Cool, yep, so that's fully blocked. Then I'll use Redliner to put bolt and shot into the arsenal for no resources, and then I'll fire the bolt and shot for 4.
You know what? I'll take 4 here.
Okay.
You did the hard work. You should get some reward.
Exactly, yeah. Two pieces of equipment. And then, do you know what? I'm going to opt 2 as well by cracking the lens at the end of turn.
Okay, sure thing.
Because it doesn't block, so I might as well see if I can. What am I doing? I'm not drawing them. Opting first. Okay, we'll keep those on the top, and then we will draw 4, and it's your go. Okay.
Now you'll see why I let that husk go. All right. Let's start by pitching a blue Wreck-It Romp, one of my favorite cards in the game. And 1 for Blood Rush Bellow, another one of my favorites. So I have to randomly discard.
Yep.
So you can choose either Livia or Claws.
Claws.
Claws. It is a 6. It is a Dread with Brumler, so I do get to draw 2, and my brute attacks this turn get +2.
There's going to be some savagery coming on here.
Oh, yeah. I hate to do this. I somewhat hate to do this to you, but it also makes good video.
Yeah.
Off the draw, I'm going to play a second.
Oh, goodness me.
As I said, this is nothing personal. This is it's just for the video.
That's good to see.
Livia or the Claws.
The Claws gave me bad fortune last time, so I'm going to choose Levier instead.
Alright, it is a 6 as well.
Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah, just to let you know, it was going to be a 6 either way, so.
Brilliant.
Alright, so that is +4 to all my brute attacks at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll pitch a blue Barraging to go up to 4 resources and pay 2, and come in with the Claws. They are coming in for 7 with Go Again from discarding a 6 cost.
Okay. No blocks from hand. Any reactions?
No reactions.
No. Okay, so I will play Sink Below. Choosing to put this on the bottom and drawing a card, and then I take 3.
Alrighty.
So 1, 13.
Then with the 2 floating, we're going to come in with the second Claws for 7 with Go Again.
Okay.
I don't want to say Mansat's a genius, because this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen that often that you get both Blood Rush Bellows, but credit to him. Cheers.
Yeah. But when you do, they rips people apart. I'm just thinking, do I want to... So if I do that...
I mean, this must feel a bit like Jonah Lomu running over that poor poor British British defender in the World Cup all those years ago.
Yeah. Oh dear.
You thought I wouldn't bring up a little bit of a little bit of New Zealand versus England in this.
You got to just do it when you can, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's not too many things that we get the best view at, so.
Exactly. So I'm going to block 5 with a knock, a death whistle, and seek and destroy.
Oh, I love to see those.
Yeah.
All right, so it's, I've
Take
got no
2.
reactions, but it does have go again. So for my last thing, I'm going to pitch a red endless maul to play a Boneyard Marauder. So I have to randomly discard 3 cards. Just say when, and I'll take the top 3 off.
Oh, banishing cards, you mean?
Yeah. So I've got to banish these for Boneyard Marauder's ability. So I have to banish 3.
Cool. Yeah. Stop.
Yep.
There we go.
So 1, 2, 3. So there was 2 blood debt and 2 6s. So that turns off blood debt for the turn.
Indeed.
And that is just coming in for 10 with the +4 of the 2 Blood Rush Fellows.
10. Oh yeah. Right. So there's nothing I can do again, and there's nothing I can do about that because of the card in hand that I've got. So I'm gonna have to take 10. So I'm down to 1.
Alrighty.
Oh boy.
And that will be my turn.
Cool. At the end of your turn, I'll play a memorial ground to put the red in the ledger back on the top of the library, on top of the deck. But that doesn't really matter because I can't really do anything with it now, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, getting it into your arsenal is not terrible.
I can't even do that though, can I? Because it's going to put it on the top. So
It
on the.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can. It sets up a good turn if I can do it on the next turn, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So I'll just be drawing.
Basically, yeah, it's not great in a situation where you don't have an arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm on 1, and it's your go.
Alrighty. Alright.
Damn.
I'm gonna pitch a blue Dread Screamer and pay 1 to play Art of War, and I'm gonna give my next attack action Go Again, and I'm gonna banish a blue Dread. Actually, no, I'll banish a blue Dreadwood Rumba to draw 2, so that will turn off my blood debt for the turn.
Indeed.
Draw 2. Okay, that's interesting. I will pitch the other blue Dread Screamer.
Yep.
And play a blue Dreadwood Rumbler. So I draw a card and then randomly discard 1. So,
Okay.
Would you like Levia or Claws?
Levia.
Alright. Ooh, Sigil. Alright. So no banish off that because it's not a 6 cost. So that's just coming at you for 6 with Go Again.
6 would go again. Right. Where does it go again come from?
From the Art of War. So.
Oh right, yes, of course.
I tried to Go Again and get 2 cards.
Savage.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, I'll block 6 with a sleep dart and a hamstring shot.
Alright. That's good. I've got 2 floating. Alright, I'm going to try and kill you here, I think. So what I'm going to do is I've got Go Again, but I'm going to close the combat chain just to get the 6 into my discard pile. to give me better options. I'm then gonna pitch another blue to play an Endless Maul. So Endless Maul, as an additional cost, I have to banish 3 random cards, and if one of them is a 6+, it will Endless Maul will get +3 attack. So just tell me when you want me to stop, and I'll take the top 3.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, not a 6. So that's just coming at you for 6.
Oh. I survive one more turn, so I block 6 with a bolt and shot and rend the ledger.
Alrighty. All good. And I don't take any blood debt because I banished the 6 on Art of War. And so I will pass 4 up and over to you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be passing back straight back to you after that. Assault.
Ah, man. This is an awkward hand. Since this is an awkward hand. Oh, actually, this is exactly why we have this card. We're going to play Merchant's Hood and put all 4 cards back and hope for better.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I got a handful of defense reactions. I'm like, that's not going to kill you.
I could see Levi wearing a Hope Merchant's Hood, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a little bit of that sort of... what was the character in Harry Potter that had like the face in the back of its head that wore the turban?
Oh, yes, Professor Quirrell.
Yeah, that sort of vibe. Yeah, sort of keeping the adult Levi
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Alright, so let's see if we've got a bit... Oh, yeah, that's... Alright, we'll start by barraging beatdown. So intimidate 1 card out of your hands.
Cool. Yeah.
Alright, we'll go second from the left. So
Yep.
that one. We will then... we'll then pitch a blue Wreck-It Romp to play blue Dread Screamer. So I will shuffle, and I have to banish 3 cards, so just tell me when to stop.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. So there are 6s in that, so Blood Dirt is turned off for the turn. So this is coming at you for 4 would Go Again, or 8 would Go Again if you don't plot with 2 non-equipped.
4.
4 or 8, basically.
So if I block with 2 cards, it will be 4, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Cool, right, so I block Nimblism and take aim, so block 4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And has Go Again. It has Go Again off itself. I have 1. So I will just pitch a red and swing at you with the claw for 3.
Wow, okay, so... luckily I can block for 3 with a searing shot.
Alright, live to fight another day. Actually,
Indeed.
This is getting a bit of a worry, because now I'm getting into that if I don't turn off Blood Debt thing. It's gonna be in it.
The aforementioned discussion of going out on your own terms is about to happen.
Exactly.
Right then, so the banish card from the Intimidate comes back to hand.
That is correct.
And luckily I can activate the red liner to put it in there face up. So it's a Ridge Rider shot, so I opt 1. I will get that out of the way. And then Ridge Rider shot costs nothing, so I will attack for 3. Yeah.
That's fine, I'll take 3 here.
Of course. And then I will draw 4 and it's back to you.
So we will pitch blue Soul Harvest to play Art of War. We'll say Go Again, and we'll banish an attack guard. It is a Dreadwood Rumbler, so it turns off Blood Debt.
Yep.
So draw 2. I've got 8 blood debts in there, so we're gonna play Doomsday to bring out a plasma fit,
Nice.
which is always fun.
That's the second time now. The second time on this channel when I've played Leviat that I've been facing the demon. Of course it would be. Goodness sake. The first game in this series, Fresh and Bud's podcast, done that as well.
Yeah.
Just summon the demon.
Man.
Great fun.
Now I have to read this.
Blasphemed.
Oh no. So, alright, so Hard War isn't going to give that attack Go Again though, because it's not technically an attack action.
Do you reckon they'll do? Do you reckon they'll do more sort of ally cards in the future or not?
I think so. I think they'll do them sparingly.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll want to get too much into it, but I definitely see there could be. Like I honestly think Ranger will get pets at some point. Like if you
Oh,
see
that would be sweet. Yeah.
Azalea's artwork, she's got those sort of like hellhound type things.
Yeah. That would be good.
So I do think it will come at some point.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to play it safe here because I've turned off blood debts. We're just going to attack 6 with plasma debts. And choose
6.
the banishing card. Yeah.
Okay. 6 with the
No
demon.
Go Again because it's not an attack action.
All right. So, any attack reactions?
No attack reactions because I don't believe there's anything attack reaction wise you can play with an ally. So.
Okay. Right. So.
It's not technically a card. It's not technically an attack action card, so I don't. Other than maybe instance, there isn't.
Okay.
Attack actions that actually work with it.
Makes sense. In that case, then I will play a Sink Below and a Fateful Scene.
All right. That's good.
Choosing to opt one. Keep that on top, I think.
So here's a little trick of play. What you should have done was you should have played the Fateful Scene first. Then played the Sink Below because if you see that the card you want to draw off the Fateful Scene. So,
right.
So basically it gives you that information on whether or not you want to use the Sink Below after the Fateful Scene.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's just a little bit of play that will come in handy from time to time. So.
Oh, thanks for letting me know.
No problem.
Cool. So yeah,
it's very rare that I can give. It's very rare. I'm very casual. It's very rare that I can give good advice, but that is one bit of good advice.
Well, yeah, exactly. Whenever you play me now or in the future, you can give as much advice as you like.
Alrighty, that's fully blocked, so I'm going to Arsenal and pass. I did turn off blood debt for the turn, so...
Okay.
And over to you.
So now is the time to activate the Bullseye Bracers. If I have no cards in my arsenal, of course I don't, I can put something in there, into the arsenal face up, and it gains +1 to the end of turn, so I will do that. So this is a Ridge Rider shot, which will now become a 5 attack, and I opt 1 because it's put in there face up. And that can go to the bottom. And then I will shoot this for nothing for 5.
For nothing for 5, and you've got no cards in hand?
I've got 1, but no resources.
Oh, alright. Well, okay, you might live then, depending on what that card is. I am going to choose to not block and go to reaction step.
Okay.
Have you got any reactions?
No.
Alright. I'm going to play Reckless Swing. So you've got a choice of 4 cards. And if the card you choose is a 6 attack, you'll take 2 damage.
Oh, no.
You've got 1 out. There is 1 out in the 4 cards that... it's a mathematical out of that may not kill you.
25% chance.
Yeah, less than a 25% chance because yeah,
Oh.
I'll show you after you choose. So we've got right claws, Leviah, left claws, or Gambler's
I'm going to choose Gambler's Gloves because this is it.
because you're gonna gamble. Alrighty. All right. So you take 2 and die because it's the end
I
of the game.
die.
So the trick is, if you hit Beast Within,
Yeah.
I have to do the Beast Within trigger before the damage from Reckless Swing happens. So if I happen to hit 13 cards that aren't 6s, so 1, 2, 3. I was only taking 2 damage, but I have been known to take 9 damage off a Beast Within. So
Core. Yeah. That's not something I
the
like.
others- the
It's a
others
risk
are
for reward card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do like it though because it does replace itself in your hand, which is
Yeah.
which is very very good.
Nice.
Wow. So that was this deck going pretty much as well as it could go. I feel like that.
Yeah. So
That double
props.
turn was insane. Props
Yeah.
to Ansan for putting together a very fun deck.
Yeah. I mean, there was even you stripped my entire hand, and I still took so much damage that turn. So there was there wasn't really much I could do to come back from that. Really. I mean, I held out for as long as I could. But
again, it's the unfortunate nature. I mean, as much as I love Azalea, and I do, it's the unfortunate nature of the fact that her weapon doesn't attack if you don't have an arrow. So if you get into that sort of death spiral of having to block with multiple cards each turn, it's very hard to come back.
Yeah, it is hard to come back. But luckily, with Red Liner, what I like about Red Liner in opposed to Death Dealer is that if you do have one left, you can still do it. And I do run a lot of 0 arrows in here. Like the Bolt and Shot was a nice addition to the Azalea fans because it's a 0 cost. And obviously, with Red Liner strategy, you do want to be buffing. For like the first turn I had when I came in for 10, you ideally want to be doing that pretty much every turn. But the Blood Rush Bellows turn was just so savage.
Have you ever tried replacing Bullseye braces with braces of belief?
No, I haven't.
It's a very like in this sort of build that you're running. It's a very interesting option because what it does is it reveals the top card of your deck, and you get that much minus its pitch cost to your next attack. So in Azalea, what it does is it allows you to see what the top card is on the deck.
True.
So then you can, if it's the arrow that you want, you can then Azalea it into your arsenal if you've already got a card there, and it will get the plus bonus still as well. So ideally, if you can hit like a bolt and shot with it, it's gonna get the +1 off that, as well as you get the Go Again because it's got +1 and it's got Dominate off Azalea's ability. So it's an interesting play to use in a match. Like I like Bullseye braces because it does have the just break it to put a card into your arsenal if you are behind. But it is another option to look at.
Yeah, I mean, especially because if you're running the Red Liner does exactly the same as this anyway.
Yeah.
It just gives it a buff. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. That's the point you made there about revealing the top card of your deck. It is crucial information in an Azalea deck. So
yeah, absolutely. That's why I always, if I'm running Azalea, I always run the Ravenous Rabbles because it's an attack that has a natural Go Again, but more to the point, it gives you that information about what's on top of your deck without having to use equipment. So it is very very useful. And also, if you get the dream is that you can run Gorganian Tome in your Azalea, and the dream is to hit Gorganian Tome off a Ravenous Rabble reveal, and because Gorganian Tome has no pitch value, you get Ravenous Rabble for 5, which is great.
Yeah. No, it's a great card.
Doesn't happen that often,
but yeah. Well, I'm happy to play again with the same matchup.
Run it back? Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm always down to play some games. So.
Cool.
What would you like? You want to stay with odds?
Well, you're the winner, so you get to choose this time.
All right. Well, I'll call evens. That's fine. It works for me.
There you go.
6. Let's go. Let's run it back the other way. Since I went second last time, I'll go first this time and see if it changes things up at all.
Okay.
That isn't awkward. Okay. Yeah. So I literally, this hand is the exact reason that you run Hope Merchant's Hood. Alright, so I'm going to Hope Merchant's Hood.
He's getting rid of it straight away.
Straight away, but you'll see why. I'm Hope Merchant's Hood one card.
Oh, it's not double Blood Rush again, is it? No, you wouldn't do that on the first turn, would you? You wouldn't do that, because I can just draw up.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what we draw off this hood.
Oh dear.
So, drawing one. Oh, that's awful.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not hit. Alright. So, with that being said, I am going to roll the dice for Scabskins.
Yep.
That's a 5, so I get 2 actions.
God, Scabskin is so good.
It is really good. So we're gonna pitch a Dread Screamer blue, come at you with a clause for 3.
Claws for 3.
And 1 action.
Claws for 3. Right, I'll take 3.
Alright. We'll then pitch a Reckless Swing and come at you with claws for 3 again.
Is there anything after that?
No, unfortunately not.
3. Okay. So I will draw up.
Yes. My game doesn't my payoff.
Yes. Right, so I'm going to block with a hamstring shot for 3.
Nice. Alright. I am going to then Arsenal and pass.
On the end step of your turn, I'm going to opt before I draw. So it's opt 2, isn't it, with the lens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh dear. Interesting decision. What do I have?
So you were talking about
Leave that on top.
You've got this series, and of course you do your other series as well, which is the go and go around the different stores and stuff, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the linchpin. Yeah, that's the linchpin of my channel. Really, is to shine a light on the people that make this happen. Really, and yeah, I just love visiting. I had this idea where me and the girlfriend were on a visit one day, and I went into the local game store and had a great chat with them and played a game with them. And my girlfriend was ringing her nan at the time, and she was doing her own thing. But I was just like, I could make a good series out of this.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I think it's a great idea. I mean, and to be perfectly fair with what's happened here with lockdowns, I've been stuck here in Auckland, but I totally might steal your idea and once because I am getting a bit cabin feverish and I have got the urge to travel the country a little bit again once we get done with it, and I really like the idea. Like I really like the idea of shining a light on the local stores and giving
yeah.
them props for supporting and stuff. Obviously, as people know, this playmat here is from one of the stores here in New Zealand, Sushi Night Gaming. They're a big
Hmm.
supporter of mine, and I always love going. Um, and if anyone has seen their store or been to their store, they know that they're a huge Flesh and Blood fan. They they've got an amazing display. They take every poster that they get sent, whether it be for Rhodes event, for armories, and they frame them up and it's like walking into a fab museum almost.
Wow, nice.
It's got the whole history on display, which is really cool.
Yeah, and it'll be good.
So
It'll be
yeah,
good to capture a lot of the New Zealand, because let's be honest, I'm never going to be able to do that. So
well,
so
you
yeah,
know, but never say never. You know,
yeah,
there could be a chance to win a trip to Worlds or something in the future. Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully we get a few people from your side of the world down here.
Hopefully at some point. But yeah, definitely shine a light on the stores when you can, because they're the guys that and girls that make it happen. So
Yeah.
um, cool. Right. So I've
What have
drew
you
up.
got for me?
So I am going to first of all put with red liner, put a bolt and shot yellow into the arsenal
Nice.
with red liner. Then I will play an overflex, which costs 1. So I'm going to pitch a memorial ground for 2. So I've got 1 left over. Bloody Dungeons and Dragons dice. I could never find the 1 on it. There we go. So yeah, 1 floating, and then I'll just play the bolt and shot from the arsenal. This will have go again because it has been pumped from the overflex. So this is a 7 attack with go again. If it hits, I can reload.
That is nasty.
And then 1 floating as well. So the question is, do you allow me to reload?
That's my exact thought process at the moment. The other thing I love about Bolden Shot is that that artwork entails that we're going to get a crossbow at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the character is wearing some form of like sort of cowboy hat as well.
Yeah,
So
it's very Van Helsing.
Yeah, literally, I was about to say exactly the same thing. It's very sort of werewolf slayer, sort of supernatural slayer vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw eight in front of it with my equipment.
Okay. Wow.
Because I don't want you to reload. Well, I don't
Okay.
want you to naturally reload.
No. So yeah, so that's fully blocked. I do have a go again on that, so I will probably just crack the bracers to put something into the arsenal then, if that's the case. So yeah, I will do that. So I'll put a searing shot into the arsenal. This will gain +1 from the bracers. So this is a 5 attack, which costs nothing to play, and then if it hits, you lose a life.
Yep, that is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it happen. So it's 5 and then 1, so I take 6, go to 14.
Indeed. 1 float in, which just fizzles away, and then I draw up, and then it's your go.
So Husk goes to the graveyard. Oh, sorry, the banish zone. There. All right. So this is what I was trying to fish for turn 1. So I'm going to pitch the blue Ricket Romp to play the Blood Rush Bellows, which I did have in my first hand. I just didn't have the enough sixes to discard for it. So Levia or Claws?
Let's go with Levia.
Levia, it is a 6. It's a Hungering Slaughter Beast, so I do get to draw 2, and my brute attacks get +2 this turn.
Please don't be another Bellows.
It's not this. It's not this time. So
Woo!
still not bad. So first off, I'll start with just a clause for 5 with Go Again.
Claws with 5. I will take 5. Go to 12. I'm on my 4th beer, by the way. They're only small cans, it's fine.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Is it Asahi, is it?
It is, yeah, Japanese beer.
Yeah. So that's the crazy thing about them, right? So they come in either very small cans or ridiculously large, like liter or 3-liter cans.
That's right.
We've got a place here in Auckland that's super famous in the middle of town called Tanuki's Cavern, and they're a teppanyaki
nice.
style place, but they only serve Asahi, and it's only either 1 liter or 3 liter. Those are the options.
Oh.
You're there for the night.
Good options. Good options.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pitch 2 reds here and swing 5 with the claws again.
5 with the claws again.
And it's got Go Again.
So I will block with a 5 with Go Again. So I'll block with 3 and 2.
Alrighty. And then my final thing, I will pitch a blue, and I'm gonna play Endless Ball from my arsenal. So discard, banishing 3 cards. I only have 3 cards, but one of them is a 6. So it gets +3, so that makes it 9. It also gets the +2 off Blood Rush Bellows, so it's coming in for 11.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I turn off my my Blood Bed. So.
God, so savage.
This is people who are like, oh, Brute's not that great. I'm like, it can be pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, it's the claws.
It's the claws, yeah, and this is what's really brought it to the floor, is because you don't before you kind of had to roll the scab skins on your Blood Rush turns to get the Go Again, but just the fact that these get Go Again if you've banished a card, so it means if you've Blood Rushed successfully, these are always going to have Go Again. So
yeah, it's the fact that they both get turned on, don't they, with the claws? So
exactly.
It's mental. So to actually have a crackback, I'm going to have to take the damage that's being displayed to me, which is how much?
Right.
11. So I'll be on 1 again.
Yeah.
So it's okay. My audience at this point know that I'm a garbage player. So, but I am playing Azalea, so I've got an out at least.
Yeah. You are making it hard on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing on hard mode.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
I've got to admit, if some of you may have read the article I did on Fab TCG, that I was 10 wins away from making my 500 tournament wins, and I decided to do the last 10 of that 500 with Azalea.
Yep.
It was tough. it was
yeah.
tough getting those 10 wins. Probably tougher than the 490 I got beforehand. So.
Yeah.
But it is always fun. She is fun when she goes right.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the hero, and I think that the next set will give us more. as well. I'm hoping, obviously, with the whole sort of Everfest theme, that we're going to see a lot of. I thought this was going to be the case in Aria, but definitely not. So I think that in the Everfest, it's going to be, you know, when you go to a carnival, when you go to like a festival sort of thing, there's always a fortune teller. There's always like a soothsayer that sort of predicts the future. So I think there's going to be a lot. I reckon there's going to be some sort of top deck manipulation style stuff going on, which I hope will fit into this.
Sort of saw the sort of start of that with Whispers of the Oracle back in Ark.
Exactly.
Something that makes it a little better. The thing that always got to me about Ranger is that the traps were just so tough to.
Oh yeah, I've got some in here.
And I've always wished how they'd done traps was like that. This is how I think traps should have been to make them a little bit more useful. Where you can play them as a defense reaction from hand for just the defense, for just whatever they defend for. But if you play them from Arsenal, you get the trap ability.
Yeah.
Whereas the problem now is that if you get them stuck in hand and they're not in the Arsenal, you can't
Rubbish.
use them at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, like, I feel like it should be like how with Unmovable, you can still use it from hand, but you get the +1 if you play it from your Arsenal. So with a trap, I feel like you should still be able to use it from hand, but you only get the additional part of it if it's from your Arsenal, which I think would have made them a lot more useful.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I always love having a pitfall trap in the arsenal because it then gives your opponent the decision: oh, do I lose a life or do I have to pay? Which then is an actual card from hand. So you know, if you have the ability to put it in the arsenal to have the additional effect, or still block with it from hand.
Yeah, I tell you what. Pitfall Trap in Ice Lexi, when you've got Frostbite tokens on them, that makes for some real hard decisions for your
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Deja Vu, I'm on 1 again. Ian's on 14 this time, so I've done a bit more damage this time. Cool, so our turn, right? My turn.
Yeah.
Well, we're not playing Kano yet. So we will play a Knock the Death Whistle to go and get a Redden Ledger, of course. And then that goes on the top. Reload, which I will do. Then I will play this card, but I'll crack the cross strap to do it, so it costs nothing in the grand scheme of things, which is a Sleep Dart.
Ooh, all right.
Oh no, I wanted to do the Azalea thing. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to activate Azalea. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, exactly.
That seems like a better play.
It's the 4 Asahis that's doing this to me. That's what I'll blame it on, Ian. That's what I'll blame it on.
Yeah, no, totally fine. Man, that is awkward.
Yeah.
You've caught me with a really awkward defensive hand. So I think you're going to get away with this. I'm going to block for 3.
Yeah.
And past reactions, if you've got any.
Nothing.
All right. So I take 2. Go down to 12.
Yeah.
And then before the end of your turn, though, I'm gonna sigil and go back up to 15.
Cool. So you can only play 1 action, but then you've sigiled it, so that's fine.
Yeah. Well, no, sigil's an instant, so I did that on your turn. So
yeah.
The card out in my hand.
Nice.
Alright. So I do have a proxy card here. So I'll just show you. This is my proxy Eye of Ophidia. I do have a real one. Just it's cased up. So just.
Oh, this is right time radio reflex, isn't it? He's flexing all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm just going to pitch that to swing with the core for 3, but I do get to opt 2 cards.
Okay.
So I'll leave them both on top. So just coming at you for 3.
Okay, this is quite cool what I've got in hand. So it actually allows me to do something. For 3, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so defense reaction, I will take cover for 0. Reloading a card. So I think that blocks everything.
Yep. So that will end my turn. I will Arsenal. I will take 2 from Blood Deck, so that gets turned off.
So this is where this card is, I think, very good. And that I'm going at the end of your turn, I'm going to Memorial Ground to put the Red and Ledger back on the top.
Yep, that's a solid choice.
Cool. And then it's my turn. I will Azalea the Red and the Ledger back in the arsenal, so it gains Dominate. And then I will attack with it, pitching a Fateful Scene. So another 5 Dominate. If it hits, you can only have 1 action.
Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to start by pitching a Doomsday for 3, paying 1 to play Art of War, and I'll give my attack cards +1/+1, and I will banish Ghostly Visit to draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll block with my Scabskin Leathers for 1, and then I will block with Dread Screamer for 4 because of the +1/+1 from Art of War, so blocking for 5.
Nice, yep. Lovely. And then I will draw 4, and you're back to you. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, no, I just realised what I should have done is I should have blocked with a 6 attack card to give my graveyard another 6 attack in it, but that's alright.
Yeah.
We will live and learn, as I said. I am not Man Sand, I'm just playing his deck. Alright, this is interesting. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to have to hope a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna roll Scab Slings first. 2, so I get 1 action. That's fine. So replay. So if that's the case, I'm gonna play Red Deadwood Rumbler. I'm gonna draw and randomly card. So Levia or Claws.
Let's go Claws this time.
Claws. Oof. Alright, I don't get to banish. That is unfortunate. So it is coming at you for 8 though. So
that's still going to be, it's still going to be relevant. So first of all, blocks from hand will be a Seek and Destroy for 2.
Nice.
Any reactions?
No reactions for that.
Right. So correct me with the sequencing for this. So first of all, I'm going to play a Fateful Scene.
Yes. So you opt now.
Okay. I have to keep that on top. And then what happens now? Does it go back to you? Priority?
Yeah, it can do, but I'm passing, so
So then I can play another Fateful Scene, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Right. So so the Fateful Scene's in total block for 7, and then the Seek Destroy blocks for 2, so I block 9.
Alrighty, that's all blocked up, and unfortunately I take 3 blood deck because I did not banish this.
Yes, we're getting there.
I am gonna hold. I'm not gonna Arsenal. I'm gonna choose to hold on to this card instead.
At the end of your turn, I will play Memorial Ground again to put the Red and the Ledger back on the top.
Oof, solid.
So this is basically what the deck is supposed to do. Is put the Red and the Ledger back on the top constantly and just try and do stuff. But at the end of the turn, I'm just going to have to pass because I haven't got any cards in hand. So it's back to you again. That's rough.
I feel like that putting that Dread Screamer may be the misplay that costs me this game.
I don't know. This is going to be the first win on my channel.
I'm just, well, yeah, I mean, I'm still in a, I'm not going to lie, I'm still in a good position. I'm just, I am
Oh,
worried
100%.
about the blood debt and turning it off.
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
true.
Try and roll, we're going to try and roll the scab skins. Man. See, this is the awkward roll, because if I gambler's gloves and get a 1, I'm worse off. So
that's right.
I think I just play one. I play it safe with 1 action this turn. And so I'm gonna play a barrage and beatdown and intimidate 1 card out of your hand and see if we can't just make a big...
Okay, right. Which one do you want?
We will go with the one on your left.
Far left.
Yeah, far left.
Okay, banished.
Alright. So then I'm gonna pitch 2 Beast Withins to play an Endless Maul, and now I just got to remember too that this card is actually in here in the graveyard because I have to banish a card. So I've got to banish 3 cards. So just give me a win, and I'll do the top 3.
Let's go when.
Alrighty, 1, 2. Oh, you
yes.
got it. Alright, so it's just coming in. I mean, it's still okay because the barrage and beatdown is still active. So
oh, of course.
It's coming in for 6 if you block with 2 non-equipments, or 10 if you don't. So you're probably wanting to block with at least 2 non-equipment cards.
Right, so that includes defense reactions though, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's just two non-equipment cards. Yeah.
All right then. So in that case, yeah, we'll block with a take aim for 2.
Yep.
Any reactions?
I've got no reactions.
Cool, and then I'll sink below. Do I want to put this on the bottom? Oh, do I want to put it on the bottom? Don't think I do, to be honest. I'll put it on the bottom and then draw a card. It's just the same card. Okay, cool. So I block 6.
Alright, and I take 3 blood debt. So down to 7.
God, yeah, that was literally it came down to a roll of, well, not a roll of the dice, but the banish of the cards, whether I was dead or not on that turn.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like had this been another 6, it would have, instead of a 4, it would have improved my chances of hitting a 6. Although
that's right.
That being said, I didn't hit that card, so it wouldn't have mattered that much. All right, let's see what you got for me.
Cool. So of course, red liner. Just put red in the ledger into the arsenal, and then I'll just play that with pitching a memorial ground. So 5, no dominate. Just if it hits, you can only play 1 action.
I will. Block 3 and then go to reaction step. Any reactions?
Okay. No cards in hand.
Alright. I will play a sink below.
Yep.
And I'm going to choose not to use its ability.
Okay. It's fully blocked though. Nice.
Fully blocked.
Yep. And then I will draw, and it's back to you. I'm going to roll scab skins. That is a 2, so just 1. That's very honest of you. That rolled off of the camera, and you could have chosen any result.
I feel like
bless you.
I'm playing brute. If I was cheating playing brute, it's sort of
exactly.
There's so much card gaming karma that you need to go right for a brute. You just can't afford to
no
put any bad karma out into the world.
Exactly that.
So I just gotta try and turn off this blood debt. So I'm gonna pitch barrage and beat down blue and play a boneyard marauder. So randomly starting 3. So just say when.
I'm going to say when now.
Alright,
let's go.
1,
Damn.
2, 3. There we go. So, turned off Blood Debt, thankfully. Just coming at you for 6, though. No Go Again.
Okay, right. Still on 1 life, which is the issue.
Yep.
Right. So... Okay, so if we block with that, and that, we can still do that, I think. Yeah. So we're blocking with Nimblism for 2, Seek and Destroy for 2, Red and Ledger for 3.
Alright, nice.
So we're blocking for 7 in total.
Alrighty. That is... More importantly for me, I turned off my Blood Debt. So
That's right, yeah.
I mean, getting 3 cards out of your hand isn't bad either, but
No.
Not dying to the whatever deity Levier is.
Well, it's Blasphemous, isn't it? Or whatever the demon's called.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Right, over to you.
Okay, so 1 card in hand. I will use the Red Liner to put a Ridge Rider shot into the arsenal to opt 1. That will go to the bottom. Yep. And then the Ridge Rider shot costs nothing, so I will attack for 4.
I will choose not to initially block and go to reaction step.
Okay.
On my reactions, I'm going to play a Fateful Scene and
Yep.
opt 1. At this point in the game, that's going to the bottom.
Cool. Yep, so that's fully blocked, and then I will just draw 4, and then it's back to you. Oh, I just know what I've got at the bottom of the deck, and it's not going to help me. Damn, I don't know why I'm telling you that.
That's alright. We're gonna scab skins again.
Yeah.
3.
So 1.
1 action.
Squeaky.
Yeah. Alright. Let's start by just sigilling and going back up to 10.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go pitch Soul Harvest to play a Dreadwood Rumbler, draw and randomly discard. I don't have any cards in hand. Not a 6, so I don't get banished. So it's just coming at you for 6 though.
6, right. Okay, block with Knock the Death Whistle for 3.
Yep.
Any reactions?
No reactions. I got no cards left.
Cool. Fate for Scene for 3, yellow version, opt 1.
Yep.
Oh dear. That's just sadness on top, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then that's it, yeah, fully blocked 6, I believe.
Alright, and then I take 5 from Blood Debt.
Oh, here we go. Oh dear.
Yowza.
Come on, Azalea. I don't even have to do the work. The Blood Debt does it for me. Blasphemous is a deity that you don't want to make deals with.
Alright.
And apologies for all the viewers that are watching this in the future. The lighting in this room is horrendous for my side of the field. But luckily, with this game, me and Ian are communicating on a level where you should hopefully understand with the post-production editing. So we'll see. Cool. So it's my go now, I believe.
Yes, you'll go.
Right then. So, Red Liner, Remorseless into the arsenal. And then we will play the Remorseless, pitching a Pitfall Trap. So there's 1 left over, but that's going to fizzle because I've got nothing else left to do. So yeah, this is a 5 attack, which you can't play defense reactions because I put it into the arsenal face up with the Red Liner.
Ooh.
And I only have 1 of these. I don't have any more, unfortunately. But maybe Arcane Rising will... Oh no, it's Crucible. Never mind. I love the noises you're making over there.
I'm just worried because I'm like, if I miss Blood Debt next turn, it's all over.
Brilliant.
Which is an awful predicament to be in. And of course, letting Remorseless hit is not really an option. Alright, I'm going to block 6 with a Barrage and Beatdown and a Hungering Slaughter Beast.
Yep, so fully blocked on that front. And then I will draw 4, and it's your go.
Alright, it's coming down to this. Oh man. I pitch Blood Rush Bellow to play a Dread Screamer.
Yep.
So banishing 3 cards. So it's it comes down to whether or not I hit a 6 or not.
Okay.
Just tell me when.
I'm gonna leave you hanging for a moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
no, let's go. When?
Alright. Yeah, straight off the bat. Alright.
Damn.
That's good. So coming at you for 6. Technically I have Go Again, but I have no floating resources and I have no cards in hand, so
6 Go Again.
Just a 6.
1 life, which is the sad part. Okay, so blocking for 2 with a Captain's Call, 2 with a Captain's Call, and 3 with a Rid Rider Shot to block 7.
Oof. And that's the problem about Azalea. So many 2 blocks in that deck.
A lot of 2 blocks, yep. But luckily, the way I built it is there's a lot of 0 attacks as well. Redliner just allows me to just shoot them, regardless.
Fair enough.
So yeah, fully blocked. Lovely old job.
I draw up and pass to you.
Cool. Activate Redliner to put a Searing Shot into the arsenal. And then I will fire it off. So it's a 4 damage attack. If it hits, you lose a life. So 5 for no resources, which is great.
Yeah, that's actually really handy for you. Alright, I got a block 6 here with a red and a blue Dread Screamer.
Cool. So yeah, you block that, no life is lost, and then I will draw 4, and it's back to you again.
Alright, man, this is again. We're back down to the all you have to do is survive if I miss on my.
No, exactly. It's a tough one, especially in Blitz as well. That life is vital.
Yeah. All right. So we're pitching a blue Dreadwood Rumbler to play a red Rumbler. I have no cards in hand, so this has to be a 6 off the top. Or all you have to do is block and I die. It's not a 6, so if you can block out 8, you win.
Oh yes, I can. Headshot, Bolton Shot, Nimblism.
Oh,
so yeah, that's 8 block. Yes.
Yeah. And then I go 1 Blood Debt, 2 Blood Debt, 3 Blood Debt, 4 Blood Debt, 5 Blood Debt, 6 Blood Debt, 7 Blood Debt. I'm at -2. You got there. Well done.
Oh my goodness me! Awesome game.
That was you absolutely caught me with the perfect for you the perfect hand on that last turn because generally I would have wanted to just hold on to the Dread Screamer to play it, but with my hand, both Dreadwood Rumblers don't block, so I had to use both Dread Screamers to block with.
Oh man, God. Well, that's a good video. That's a good video. That is. That's a sick video. After getting rinsed in the first game, I can Azalea outlasting someone is very rare, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. It happens, but yeah, you're right. It is. It is always nice when you're on the right end of it as an Azalea player.
Yeah. It's like, yes, I played on hard mode and I won. It's like playing Dark Souls over and over again. Yeah.
Well,
That was awesome, though.
There you go. So, and if we leave it at that, it's 1-1. That means that we can come back for
Exactly.
a rubber later down the line, which is always a good way to leave things as well. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, no, man, I appreciate that. That was awesome. That was really, really good. So thanks for your time again. I don't know where I'm looking. My microphone's there. I'm just looking over here. Yeah. No, that was really, really good.
Well, yeah, no. As I said, I'm always down to play some games. It's really nice to play with people from all around the world. So yeah. Cheers for that. Cheers. That's my early morning coffee. And what's that? Your fifth? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Luckily, they're only what are they? 1.7 UK units. So I'm currently on this is literally the last swig left in this. I will be on about 7-8 units.
Oh,
so still fully functional. Still fully functional. Yeah. But yeah, just one final time as well for all the people that, for whatever reason, don't know where you are and where to find you. Where can they do that?
Absolutely. So on YouTube, Ritetime Gaming. I cover Flesh and Blood as well as a number of other games as well. As we said earlier on, I used to run a gaming store, so I love a lot of card games, so I cover a bunch of stuff. Also, for more fab-related stuff, Radio Reflex, that is where myself and Alan from Illusion Story Studios will pop on and sort of talk about what's happening in New Zealand and with LSS and stuff like that. And that's often where we when spoiler season comes on, that's usually where we do our spoilers. And of course, Ritetime Gaming on Facebook as well. That will be your best bet to find out where I am. I will
Sounds
obviously,
good.
when this comes out, I'll post a link on that, sharing that. And pretty much just look at everyone else's, every other content creator's page, and I often show up on those as well. So you should watch every content creator, including
as much as you can.
As much as you
Yeah.
can. They're all really good. So. Again, thanks again to the community. Play what you love is what I'm going to say. You know, just because a hero is not necessarily the most competitive doesn't mean it's not fun, as we just proved in that last game.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly that. And again, that's a great thing about Flesh and Blood as well, is that you can identify, you can sort of relate to the heroes that are out there. There's loads of heroes out there that you can choose from. More, I expect, coming in Everfest as well.
There's a place style for everyone.
Exactly that. So, yeah, just pick up the game and start playing. You can do that at any level. And again, I'm not sure what your opinion is on this, but you can still play some competitive games even if you don't have access to the Command and Conquers and E-Strikes and all that sort of thing. And I don't have any of that in this deck. In that game that you just witnessed there, I didn't have any chase rare cards for the equipment slots, for instance. And I didn't have any...
And to be perfectly honest, the Levia that I just played today, you could play this exact same build and just swap out the Scabskin leathers with the hooves, which is the common slot for Shadow Brute, and it would play exactly the same.
Exactly, yeah.
Because as you saw, I didn't actually really roll the Scabskin leathers all that much, so definitely there are options without having to break the bank. You can definitely get in and play this game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Outside of those cold foils, the rest of the cards don't actually cost all that much. So definitely get in and try it out. There's a lot of fun to be had.
So much fun.
Perhaps next time we play, I'll throw it out there. Maybe because it is something that I've been wanting to do a bit more, is play the commoner format where you just play with just commons. So maybe we'll have to have our rubber match as a commons only, just to show people that you can still play very good games without the high end cards.
What you want to do that? You want to do that on your channel, do you?
Sure, let's do that. I will throw that challenge out. I'll let you I'll let you have a couple of weeks to decide what hero you want to do, and I'll bring you onto my channel, and we can try that out.
I mean, I've already got, because it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm next weekend. I'm actually running with a store that doesn't have the they haven't actually got the armory events or anything, because they haven't sort of got the players in yet. But I'm running an event next week, which is basically, I've called it the no bullshit blitz format.
Nice.
So basically, it is exactly what you said there. It's commoner, where you don't use any majestics, you don't use any legendaries or any supers, because obviously supers was a. I'm interested to know what your opinion is on supers, because supers were basically a majestic. Should I run those or not?
So basically, it's one of those things where supers got changed into majestics. Basically, they just dropped the super slot and changed it to majestics. So if you're saying your format is no majestics, I'd say don't run supers either.
That's what I thought as well.
I know the last time we did our what we called a pauper back then, it was a bit early on. It was only with the first two sets, so we let commons and rares be played because there just wasn't necessarily the card pool to just play straight commoner. But I actually feel like now, where we are now, you're probably at a point where you can start playing full commoner without even rares.
No rares. Okay.
But in saying that, I don't think rares, because I think rares are very easy to get access of, and they're not very expensive. So I would like, I don't like calling it commoner if we're going to do that. I coined the phrase adventurer, and that is a format where it's commons and rares, but no majestics. So
okay.
So perhaps that's what I'll do. I'll come up with the exact format. I'll make a video.
Sounds good.
I'll pass it to you. I'll pass it on to you to make that. But I'm very much looking forward to that. Especially because now we're in that nationals for most places has gone. We're all sort of waiting now for Everfest. Skirmish season is almost done as well. So it's nice to have something over this time, and especially, I don't know if you saw, but they just announced that December armory kits is a little bit different. It's the
I saw those
cracked warbles. So it's a nice time of the year to do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more festive, and a little bit
100%.
a little bit easier on the pocket for new players as well. So I think it'd be a good time to try it out.
Yeah. So definitely reach out to me if you need someone to play, because I've got.
We might even try and get a little bit of a creator league going. Maybe I'll reach out to a couple of others and see if we do a little December round robin or something. It'd be pretty fun.
Sounds good to me. I've got, because of this. The reason I mentioned the event that I'm running is because I've got there's a lot of new players and players that haven't played yet. I've got a box of decks that have been built already. Yeah. So
really good.
Exactly, yeah. So I actually played on this series. Actually, don't know where it's going to be, but I played Benji, which was the ninja with the unblockable ninja, and I had so much fun with it. Even with no majestics.
You get to play one of my favorite cards in that deck. One of my favorite cards in the whole game is Push the Point.
Oh yeah.
Push the Point is so amazing in Benji because you get the unblockable, then you get the bonus off Push the Point. So fun.
Yeah. That's the second in the chain link. It gets the bonus, doesn't it? Second?
No. If the last attack hits, it gets the bonus.
That's it. Yeah. It's unblockable.
No matter where in the chain link, it's just as long as the last attack hits. So.
And exactly. That can be played in the adventurer format or whatever we choose to call it.
Exactly. All right,
Nice.
dude. Well, I'll let you finish your video here because you've got probably a bit of editing to do. But
I'll go. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Super fun. Thanks for the games, and I feel like it was a great result. A 1-1 is always leave it hanging, leave them wanting more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, until next time.